An unforeseen deluge, the First Battle of the Marne. In September 1914, a pivotal clash unfolded on the plains of northern France, the First Battle of the Marne. This tempestuous confrontation, a desperate stand against a seemingly unstoppable German advance, stands as a turning point in the war, shattering dreams of swift victory and ushering in an era of brutal stalemate on the Western Front. The stage for this epic battle was set in the aftermath of the Great Retreat. The German juggernaut, fueled by the Schlieffen Plan, had swept across Belgium and northern France, pushing the Allied forces back in a desperate scramble for survival. Paris, the very heart of France, lay within striking distance, and the prospect of a swift German victory loomed large. However, the relentless German advance had outrun its supply lines, and exhaustion gnawed at the German troops. The French, battered but not broken, saw an opportunity to strike back. General Joseph Joffre, the French commander-in-chief, orchestrated a daring counteroffensive, leveraging fresh reserves and a newfound sense of urgency. On September 5, 1914, the First Battle of the Marne commenced, a deluge of steel and fire unleashed across the French countryside. French and British forces, bolstered by renewed determination, slammed into the German flanks. A desperate struggle for control unfolded, with both sides pouring wave after wave of infantry into the bloody fray. The battlefield transformed into a cauldron of chaos. Artillery pounded the earth, reducing villages to smoldering ruins. Machine guns unleashed a torrent of lead, mowing down swathes of soldiers caught in the open. The stench of death hung heavy in the air, a grim testament to the brutal reality of modern warfare. Despite the ferocity of the fighting, the tide of battle gradually began to turn. The German advance faltered, their carefully laid plans thrown into disarray by the unexpected French counteroffensive. Communication breakdowns plagued the German command structure, and logistical strains hampered their ability to resupply their dwindling forces. By September 12, the Germans, facing exhaustion and dwindling ammunition, were forced to retreat. The First Battle of the Marne, a tempestuous clash that had raged for over a week, had ended in a bloody stalemate. The dream of a swift German victory on the Western Front lay in shattered fragments across the battlefield. The legacy of the First Battle of the Marne is a weighty one. It stands as a testament to the resilience of the French and British forces, their unwavering determination preventing a catastrophic defeat. The battle also marked the beginning of trench warfare on the Western Front, a brutal stalemate that would define the remainder of the war. The verdant plains of northern France became a graveyard for hundreds of thousands of soldiers, their sacrifice forever etched in the blood-soaked soil. The First Battle of the Marne serves as a reminder of the devastating cost of unchecked ambition and the unpredictable nature of war, where even the most meticulously planned offensives can be met with an unforeseen deluge that alters the course of history. A fiery cauldron, the Serbian campaign. While Germany became locked in combat on two fronts, another brutal crucible of conflict ignited in the Balkans, the Serbian campaign. The campaign unfolded with relentless brutality. The Austro-Hungarian juggernaut, vastly superior in numbers and weaponry, launched a multi-pronged offensive aimed at crushing Serbian resistance. Cities like Belgrade, once vibrant centers of commerce, became battlegrounds, their cobbled streets echoing with the thunder of artillery and the rattle of gunfire. The Serbian army, though resolute and fiercely patriotic, was quickly overwhelmed by the sheer might of the Austro-Hungarian forces. Despite facing overwhelming odds, the Serbs fought valiantly, inflicting significant casualties on the invaders. Guerrilla tactics, executed with daring and skill, disrupted Austro-Hungarian supply lines and hampered their advance. The mountainous terrain of Serbia, once a haven for idyllic villages, became a treacherous battleground, where every hill and valley offered a potential ambush point. The tide of the campaign, however, slowly turned against Serbia. Defeats at battles like Kur and Kolubara, though heroic stands, could not stem the tide of the Austro-Hungarian offensive. By the end of 1914, Serbia lay in ruins, its army battered and depleted. Forced from their homeland, the remnants of the Serbian army retreated into neighboring Montenegro, seeking refuge and planning for a long and arduous struggle. The Serbian campaign, though a military defeat for Serbia, holds profound significance in the grand narrative of the First World War. It stands as a potent symbol of unwavering national pride and the fierce resistance a smaller nation can muster in the face of overwhelming odds. The campaign also served as the catalyst for the web of alliances to ensnare Europe in a global conflict. Russia, bound by treaty to Serbia, mobilized in support, triggering a chain reaction that drew Germany, France, and Britain into the fray. The legacy of the Serbian campaign is a complex one. It serves as a somber reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked nationalism and the domino effect of alliances. The idyllic landscapes of Serbia became a blood-stained testament to the horrors of war, a grim foreshadowing of the cataclysm that was to engulf Europe. The echoes of this opening act continue to resonate in history, a reminder of the fragile peace that can be shattered by a single act of violence and the enduring cost of national ambition. A crucible forged in Flanders. The First Battle of Ypres and the dawn of trench warfare. The First Battle of Ypres, a desperate struggle for territorial dominance between German and Allied forces, stands as a pivotal moment, forging the nightmarish reality of trench warfare that would define the conflict on the Western Front. The stage for this epic confrontation was set in the aftermath of the German Schlieffen Plan. This ambitious offensive, aimed at a swift victory in the West, had faltered. The Allied forces, battered but resolute, regrouped, forming a defensive line stretching from the North Sea to the borders of Switzerland. Ypres, a once tranquil Belgian town, found itself at the heart of this newly formed front line. In late September 1914, the German juggernaut, determined to break through the Allied line and secure vital ports on the English Channel, launched a ferocious offensive against Ypres. A relentless bombardment pounded the town, reducing its once proud buildings to smoldering rubble. French and British soldiers, bolstered by newly arrived Indian troops, dug in for a desperate fight. The ensuing battle unfolded in a brutal ballet of attrition. Wave after wave of infantry charged across the blood-soaked fields, only to be cut down by withering machine gun fire. Artillery pounded the earth, churning the fertile landscape into a muddy wasteland. The idyllic countryside of Flanders became a graveyard, a testament to the devastating firepower unleashed by both sides. Despite the horrific conditions and relentless attacks, the Allied line held firm. Acts of heroism punctuated the bleak landscape, with soldiers performing feats of courage and endurance in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Logistical nightmares unfolded as both sides struggled to maintain supply lines amidst the chaos and destruction. By November 1914, after weeks of relentless fighting, exhaustion set in on both sides. The German offensive sputtered, unable to dislodge the tenacious Allied defenders. The First Battle of Ypres, though a stalemate in terms of territorial gains, marked a turning point in the war. The dream of a swift victory on the Western Front lay shattered, replaced by the grim reality of trench warfare. The legacy of the First Battle of Ypres is a weighty one. It stands as a testament to the resilience of the Allied forces, their unwavering defense preventing a German breakthrough. However, the battle also ushered in a new era of warfare, a brutal stalemate characterized by fortified positions, barbed wire, and relentless artillery barrages. The verdant plains of Flanders became a quagmire of mud and death, forever scarred by the conflict. The First Battle of Ypres serves as a stark reminder of the devastating cost of unchecked ambition and the horrific realities of industrialized warfare. The echoes of this early clash continue to resonate in history, a grim testament to the enduring human cost of global conflict. A spark in the Caucasus, the Black Sea Raid. The Black Sea Raid, a calculated act of aggression by the Ottoman Empire, was a pivotal moment in the war. a brazen display of hostility that shattered a fragile peace and exposed the complex web of alliances that would soon ensnare Europe in a global conflict. The stage for this dramatic confrontation was set in the strategic waters of the Black Sea. The Ottoman Empire, a waning power entangled in internal struggles, found itself increasingly drawn into the orbit of Germany, a rising power with ambitions in the region. With tensions simmering, Germany dispatched two powerful warships, the Goeben and the Breslau, to the Black Sea, ostensibly on a goodwill mission. However, their true purpose soon became clear. In early August 1914, on the cusp of war declarations across Europe, the German warships, now under Ottoman command and flying the Ottoman flag, launched a surprise attack on Russian ports along the Black Sea coast. The Black Sea raid, though limited in scope, unleashed a potent shockwave. The bombardment of Odessa and other coastal towns, though causing minimal lasting damage, was a blatant act of aggression. Russia, a staunch protector of Slavic interests in the Balkans and bound by treaty to Serbia, viewed the attack as a direct provocation. The raid served as a calculated gamble by the Ottoman leadership, hoping to provoke Russia into declaring war and thus draw them into the burgeoning conflict on Germany's side. This act of calculated aggression exposed the intricate web of alliances that crisscrossed Europe. Russia, outraged by the attack, mobilized its vast army, a move interpreted by Germany as a hostile act. The Black Sea raid, though a minor skirmish in the grand scheme of the First World War, holds immense significance. It stands as a potent example of how a calculated act of aggression can spiral into a global catastrophe. The tranquil waters of the Black Sea became a flashpoint, a stark reminder of the fragile peace that can be shattered by a single act of calculated hostility. The legacy of the Black Sea raid is a somber one. It serves as a cautionary tale of the perils of unchecked ambition and the domino effect of alliances. The Black Sea, once a vital trade route, became a battleground, a grim foreshadowing of the devastation that would engulf Europe and beyond in the years to come. The echoes of this opening act continue to resonate in history, a reminder of the far-reaching consequences of geopolitical maneuvering and the enduring cost of human conflict. In the next chapter, we will cover the siege of the port city of Antwerp, as well as the so-called Christmas truce, a temporary ceasefire on the Western Front.